Okay, good morning, everybody. It is about 10:20, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I hope some people will be joining us in and out. I know, as always, it's another busy day at our beautiful Church of St. John the Divine. My name is Lori Gobolo. I am the volunteer president of A Lighted Path and also the executive director of one of our key initiatives, Adults in Training. You'll be hearing more about that later. This is week 2 of our Loving Our City Like Jesus series, our Easter series, where we are focusing on going forth as Jesus called us to do. Today we have a fast-paced series of 3 panels. You will hear from volunteers, leaders, and clients from the work A Lighted Path is doing to improve outcomes for children and youth in our city. So, A Lighted Path is a new nonprofit created by our church in 2022. Why? Why did we do this? Why? To live into our mission to go forth into the city and be a light for the city. To expand our reach to volunteers, grants, community partners beyond a ministry of the church, to share the unconditional love of Jesus Christ. A Lighted Path currently has 3 initiatives: Strong Start, which is focused on high-quality early childhood education and kindergarten readiness. Jane Rucker is our executive director, and she will be leading our first panel. Adults in Training, which is focused on providing support and opportunities to young adults who are aging out of foster care. And I mentioned that I am the volunteer executive director of that initiative. And then finally, Loving Lamar, which actually predates A Lighted Path. And we are focused on all types of support for our neighbors, Lamar High School. We are early into our 3rd year of existence, and as you will hear, we have formed some great partnerships in the community, and as you will see, there are synergies among the 3 initiatives. For example, Dolores was one of the very first young adults that we met at our ministry at DePelchin Children's Center, and she's going to be talking about early childhood. We have other examples of that. So we're going to begin with Strong Start, and we hope to take questions at the end of the 3 panels, if we can use our time wisely. And we'll kick it off with Strong Start, and Julie Boone, one of our foundational volunteers, is going to start us. Thank you.
Morning. Thank you, Lori. Well, as an educator, I've got to start with school. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand if you've ever heard of the singer-songwriter Raffi. Anybody ever heard of Raffi? Yay, okay. Well, he's been a staple in children's music for years and decades, actually. When my children were young, I sang along with them with Raffi, and then now I have the opportunity to do the same, enjoy the joy of that music with my grandchildren. And I heard him interviewed on a documentary not too long ago that was talking about the essential need for good childhood education. And he gave a quote that's really stuck with me, and I feel so wholeheartedly in favor of what he said. He says, when you pay attention to the beginning of a story, you can change the story. If you pay attention to the beginning of the story, you can change the story. And that's exactly what we as Strong Start are trying to do. And we know that this is what Neighbor House Community, which is what you're going to hear more about, is doing. They're changing the lives of the students in their program, the graduates, the families, and the community. The children receive excellent instruction and support and experience the love of Jesus Christ each day. Jane's going to tell you a little bit more about this.
Thank you, Julie. As Lori mentioned, I'm the executive director of Strong Start, and Julie Boone is on the Strong Start team. I'm going to mention the other Strong Start team members, and if y'all would just stand up, because any of you out there, if you have any questions, you can, and you know these people, then you can talk with them. So Doug Selman and Moretta Tate. Is Carol Stryker here? Or Jeff McParland? There we go. Okay. So it is with this great team that I am able to do this job. And so anyway, as Lori mentioned, we have a lighted path and the 3 initiatives: Strong Start, Adults in Training, and Loving Lamar. Strong Start has landed in with our community partner, Neighbor House Community. So I'd like to introduce Terry Medina, who is the Executive Director of Neighbor House Community. Neighbor House Community, Terry, I'm gonna let you say what it is, but I just wanted to clarify, we've got a lighted path, we've got Strong Start, we've got Neighbor House Community, and there's all these words swirling around. If you think about Strong Start as being a St. John the Divine lighted path initiative, we partner with Neighbor House. So Terry, if you'd like to talk to us a little bit about what Neighbor House Community does.
Great, thank you. Good morning. It's such an honor for me to be here to speak with all of you about Neighbor House Community. So we were started in 2014, and our number one goal is to share the love and hope of Jesus Christ with the single mom. 90% of the women who utilize Neighbor House Community are single mothers. We have 2 campuses due to the generosity of a couple of churches. We're on Long Point and Wirt at the Faith Center, and that's provided to us the space by Houston's First Baptist Church. And then we're allowed space over at Kirkwood and Memorial Drive at St. Thomas Presbyterian Church. So we have the capacity for 150 children. We provide early childhood education for these children. We provide parenting classes. We bring in people from the community to share with these ladies. We try to find out, like, what do they need? So we go into their homes, we share the gospel, we pray with them, and we try to find out what are the resources that these ladies need. And when I talk about the ladies, these ladies are living in poverty. They're living at the poverty level. They don't have a partner. They're single moms. They rely on public transportation. They're food insecure. So you have to try and imagine, what is that like? You know, what would it be like to be a single mom and trying to raise your children? And I think that we all know the struggles of finding affordable care options. The cost of traditional care is upwards of $1,000 per month per child. At Neighbor House Community, the cost is $250 a month. And we give the children full-time care, breakfast, lunch, snack, a Christian accredited curriculum so that our kids are reaching their developmental milestones and they're going to be ready for kindergarten. We're going to make sure that they're ready. We are accredited through the Texas Rising Star program, and that requires us to provide special curriculum. We have on-site therapy. We've partnered with Exceptional Pediatrics, and they come to our site. So while mom is working or going to school, all of her child's needs are being met by Neighbor House Community. And more importantly, they're learning that Jesus has a plan for them. He hasn't forgotten them, and that they can have hope for their future. And we've seen many of our moms go on to, there are requirements to participate in our program. They need to be working or going to school full time. And we've seen many of our moms earn promotions, finish associate's degrees, vocational education, and even bachelor's degrees, starting their own businesses. Literally amazing. Literally, it's transformative. And so we are always looking for volunteers. That's a way that you could get involved with Neighbor House Community. We have so many volunteer options. Miss Jane has come out, Miss Julie, and they've come out where I can't tell you how much the Strong Start program, I never knew what it would mean to partner with these ladies, but the support that we have found is game changing. It's like, we're out there, we're a small staff. We're working with these 150 children, these families, trying to find resources, trying to provide everything for them. And now it's like we have a best friend that's kind of holding our hand, calling us. I'm so surprised when they call and they say, what else can we do? What do you need? It's like, I don't even know what to say. No one's asked me before, so no. And I'm getting the time button, so I'm going to pass this back to Jane.
Terry, thank you so much. It's our partnership is relatively new with Neighbor House. We started it about a year ago, and we've had so much fun getting into the centers. So the need is great for volunteers. You can imagine being by yourself. You have to cleave really tightly legally to the ratio of 1 adult to 13. So if you're by yourself in a room with 13 toddlers and another adult comes into the room with a smile and an extra set of hands, it says, "What can I do to help?" or "Can I just play or hold?" or whatever. So there's that opportunity, and as we try to do teacher appreciation, to let these teachers know that they are seen, they're supported, they're appreciated. So we are just walking into our partnership in terms of getting in the classroom, in terms of teacher appreciation. Terry, is there something else that you would envision? What is it, would you say, is the greatest need? Okay, sorry, I'm getting the sign. Okay, if greatest need, and then I do want to move on to our next panelist, Dolores. Okay, Terry, real quickly, one need.
I think our biggest need, we want this to be mutually beneficial. I think that people find joy in volunteering at Neighbor House Community. We certainly need you. We're very flexible in time. If you're in the neighborhood, you can call and you can come by, and we're always willing to just bring you in. And it truly is a community, and we'd like to make you a part of our community. So.
Okay, and if you're ever having a day and you're feeling a little bit down, I guarantee you, if you go by there, you're going to be told that you are their best friend, and you're going to be invited to a birthday party. So it's really, but you might be also told that you're kind of squishy. I had a little girl go, "You're squishy." Okay, so Dolores, although not at Neighbor House, is at an equally quality early childhood center called Project One Day, and we're going to let Dolores share with you a little bit about what that has meant to her and her husband.
Good morning, everyone. I think I'm just gonna start off by saying that, like, as parents, any parents in the room, having your children in daycare can be stressful because of everything we've heard about daycare. I know we all have heard bad things about it. I know we've heard good things about it, but the good thing I would say about POD, that's what we call it there, is that we're allowed to be in the classrooms with our children, and we volunteer with other children. We go through training just how our educators go through training, and we're called parent educators. I think one of the good things about POD is that it is faith-based. And so my oldest daughter, I think a lot of y'all have seen her running around here when she comes. She's very busy, and her favorite thing to do at POD is before they eat, they pray. And that's like her favorite thing to do. It's helped just for the simple fact that we have struggled a lot. And I think one of the best things that POD does is that we don't have to pay anything. We just have to volunteer 2 times out the week because that's the amount of children that we have. I'm emotional. Okay. One thing I would say is that if you have a fear about daycare, or if you don't know what it's going to be like, pray about it. Because that's one thing I've caught myself doing, because you can even ask Miss Lori and Miss Susan. I was very against daycare, like really, really bad. And I think seeing my child hit milestones that her doctors have said she wasn't going to hit, and other parents like shaming you about it, I think like it's a really like good thing. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, if you have questions about it, I'll be in the back running around. So, yeah. Bye, guys.
Good job.
As you can tell, I'm the timekeeper, and I really want to make sure you have a chance to hear from every. So let's thank our Strong Start panel and Jane Rucker and the whole Strong Start team, all the volunteers, and let's invite our Adults in Training team to come up. So joining us on the stage will be two of our Adults in Training and two allies. So we have John Palmer and his ally, Cameron Baker. We have Kate Likes from Menninger, the Menninger Clinic, and you'll be hearing from Kate twice. As I talked about synergies, we have an incredible community partnership with the Menninger Clinic, as you all know. And yes, perfect, bring that other chair up. And so you'll be hearing from them. Oops, we're one chair short, sorry about that. Jim, please come and stand here. You can stand where I am, right here. And I'm gonna turn the microphone over, and I'll just sort of moderate from down here. So let's start, Jim, with you, since you're standing. You and Patty have been such dedicated volunteers for us. Patty on the events team and in our garden, and you as an ally and really one of our advisors. Can you just please give us a few highlights of the ways you have served and what it's meant to you both?
Sure, thank you. So Patty and I have been involved for several years. We attend a lot of the meetings during the weeknight where speakers come and they share life skills, budgeting, how to work with your credit score, cooking healthy meals. There's also Thanksgiving and Christmas parties that are a lot of fun, annual work day. And through this, we've gotten to know a lot of the young adults at the DePelchin facility. Patty works in the garden, and they have vegetables and flowers and I guess a lot of things that the kids use to cook. And then after a while, you get to know the young adults, and Lori will pair us up. I'm working right now with Cameron Thompson, and so we got to know Cameron, and Cameron and I spent some time talking about what his goals are. And so we then take those goals, talk about how to begin to implement them, whether it's signing up for college courses, or in Cameron's case, after looking at some college options, he decided to go into the security field. And with the help of other members of this church, he's become very successful in that role. So
thank you.
That's kind of where we're supposed to head, which is let's help visualize the goals and execute.
That's great. And Cameron, so it's like all the Camerons up here. And James jumped on stage. That's great. And James is a great example of the synergies I talked about. He is a student at Loving Lamar, at Lamar High School, sorry. So if you could give the microphone to Cameron Thompson. Jim has been your ally and has been there for you as you figured out your choice of an early career. Can you talk about how that's made a difference for you and what that's meant?
So it opened my eyes to better career options as far as security, because I've always, younger, I always wanted to kind of do security, put it on the back burner for a while. I went to do college like Jim said, but I changed career paths and went to security. And it's opened my eyes to new opportunities as far as different routes to take in the field. I plan on growing with going different ways throughout where I'm working right now and going on to the future. And I just think it's really helped me have a better outlook on my future. So
it's awesome. That's great. And again, one of the things that we do with Adults in Training is really help our young adults recognize, kind of as we do for all of our own children and grandchildren, is create a sense of community and access our networks and contacts. And that was really the case in Cameron's case, because through connections that another one of our volunteers, Susan Sult, had at the Briar Club, it turns out Cameron ended up with 2 jobs and had to choose which of the 2 he wanted. So let's turn the microphone over to Cameron Baker, who has been with us really since the inception of our Adults in Training, and our community partner is DePelchin Children's Center. So like Neighbor House partners with Strong Start, our community partner is the DePelchin Children's Center. So, Cameron, we've known you really from the beginning of Adults in Training, and could you share just a little bit about your situation before you connected with John and Adults in Training and where you are now?
Yeah, before Adults in Training, I was really struggling with school, education, and just kind of being social. But whenever I met Adults in Training, when I met my mentor here, John Palmer, we kind of immediately connected. And right now, I have been doing really well in education. I am at college at UHD, studying to be a civil engineer. I am currently employed at the YMCA for about 2 years now, and I teach how to swim for all ages, from infant toddler all the way to older adults. And I've really improved socially as well, thanks to Adults in Training.
And living independently in his own apartment. So let's turn the microphone over to John. John, you and Cameron have been paired since the beginning. Can you just talk a little bit about how that relationship has impacted you and your family?
Surely. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. I think my mom told me many, many, many years ago, this is worth doing right. I would say impacting is maybe not the word. It's inspired us. We're all adults in training. I'm one. Maybe my daughter and my wife are too. They're not in the room, so I could say that. And Cameron's been an inspiration for us. It's tough. The challenge Cameron faces, the challenge we all face, Cameron's is tougher than most because Cameron didn't have the support network. So we're his team. We're all team Cameron, and everybody in the room is. We've all come together for this, and it has inspired me and our family. We've got a good, healthy relationship. I don't view this, Cameron's going to be 23 in a couple of weeks. So he qualifies as an adult. He's a voter, he's a driver, he got his driver's license during the program, he's living independently. By most measures, people would say Cameron is an adult, but he's going to continue to learn and grow. The relationship we have is built on transparency and honesty and truth and faith, and it's continuing to grow. So it's been just healthy for me and for our family.
Thank you so much. So we'll finish up with Kate Likes, director at the Menninger Clinic. And Kate, if you could just talk a little bit about the work that you've done with our peer groups. Our Monday night peer groups is one of our key offerings with the Adult in Training program. And then you'll also be here to talk about the work you're going to be doing at Lamar High School. So if you just give us a quick overview of the peer groups and what you've seen out of those.
Okay, sure. I'm Kate Likes. I'm a licensed clinical social worker with the Menninger Clinic. And I love seeing some of the people that I've met through the DePelchin Supervised Independent Living Facility. And what we bring to the table is a Monday night weekly peer group. The idea is that it's not therapy as much as it is an opportunity to connect and grow with one another. When you're in need, who's the first person you call? It's your spouse, it's your friend, it's a relative, it's not your therapist. And frankly, in today's environment, we don't necessarily have access to that. Connection and belonging is such a fundamental piece of our ability to grow and build our confidence in the world. And so our role is to help create an opportunity for those opportunities to connect, those opportunities to learn more life skills. And then what I think we're really going to be focusing on is how do we apply those in the real world? It's one thing to learn them in an academic way. It's another to say, this is what's coming up in my life, and how do I apply those? So really looking forward to, as Terry said with your facility, is how important it is to recognize what the community needs and what they need, as that's always changing. And so I really look forward to continuing to work with you guys, again, to understand what they need.
That's been great programming too, because it's just the young adults and Kate or her colleague, Jenna, and no volunteers are in there. So it's truly a peer group. And they've really built some great connection. So we're going to have our Lamar group come up. And for a minute, I'll keep James up here. Thank you all so much. And wait one quick second. So we have some volunteers. I know, just raise your hand. We have some other adults in training here. I see Frida here. We've got Dolores is back there. Obviously, so many volunteers. So as you all make your way off and our Loving Lamar initiative folks come up, James, why don't you come over for a second and just have a quick moment with me. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you to our adults in training panel. So James is another example of those synergies. And Kate, you're going to stay up here. Why don't we make that a little semicircle? And Larry is going to lead this panel, and you know Miss Graves. And so James is a student at Lamar High School. He's a member of our youth group. He's one of our adults in training, and he's here. He's been part of Alpha here at the church. He's volunteered, and again, he's one of our members of our youth group too. So thank you so much for being here, James. Any quick moment you have about what you've seen at Lamar so far since you've been there, and just the connections?
Okay, I'll say that ever since I moved to Lamar, because I'm basically a transfer, I mean, it's been a great experience. I mean, it's a big school, and they do have a lot of resources, and I feel like Lori has really helped me adjust to it, because whenever I'm coming from a 4A to a 6A, so it's a totally new experience because I've never really gone to a big school like that. And you know how easy it can be to get lost. But so Lori has been able to help me have a lot of connections at Lamar. And I'll say if it wasn't for her as well and the work she's been doing, I would have had much more of a difficult time being there. So I just really want to say thank you to her for everything she's been doing.
Well, and it's of course not just me. It's really Larry Lawyer. So come on up, Larry. And thank you, James, for being here. Larry, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for being our leader of this panel. And
thank you, Lori. Great job.
Thank you.
You know, this is a story of connection. It's so great to see everyone, and it is an absolute honor to introduce you to our friends across the street. We have with us the principal, Rudy Graves, here. We have a senior from Lamar, Envy Davis, and we have the head of the student services, Mr. Raul Rivera. And you already heard, we can't say enough about this rock star. Kate used to be on the board, by the way, at Menninger, and she won't tell you that, but she's done a lot of amazing things, and as a licensed clinical social worker is helping out a lot of ways. And through my counseling contacts, we coincidentally were introduced at the same time Lori was. And anyway, it's just been a God story. So many great things. I also want to recognize Shelby Hicks, who is here, happens to be Raul's wife, but she is the IB coordinator over at Lamar. And we have two partners of mine that I'm so delighted to be working with as volunteers, Ryan Miller and his wife Sunday, who have a sophomore, their oldest, over at Lamar. A lot of really neat things to say. A lot of volunteers, a lot of great stories. But the main thing is I just wanted you guys to hear from these experts. It is an honor to serve with these educators, and they're just doing such great work for our next generation of leaders. But if I could hand this over to Principal Graves, let you hear a little bit about Lamar, what's going on over there, what's going well, and maybe just a couple of things that we've been able to work on that you've been kind enough to share with me.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. And I can talk about Lamar forever, so somebody's going to have to cut me off. But let me tell you a little bit about Lamar. We are just under 3,000 students, which means it's a really big place. But one of the things we build all of our decisions around is the idea of making it feel a little bit smaller, because we know that the connection and the belonging is what our kids need to thrive. There are many, many opportunities for them to make decisions that run them off the rails. And so we try to create systems that help them make a better choice each time they come to that cross and that split in the path. One of those things is by ensuring all access to our IB programs. We are just at 89% of all of our juniors and seniors are either in the IB diploma program or the IB career-related program, which means they leave Lamar with college credit, with exposure to college-level courses. We are the largest IB school in the world, and that's because we open it up to everyone. Okay, we find courses that fit their career studies. So we have an IB exercise, health, and fitness class for our kids that are learning about wellness and getting a certification in personal training. We have a vet med program where kids learn and work alongside veterinarians in their senior year, and we offer them animal science courses. So it's been very intentional, the way we've built out the opportunities for kids to help them find where they fit in the world. Because where they feel like they belong is where they're going to go as adults. And so we want to know that they feel confident walking through any doorway. Okay. The Loving Lamar work has been exceptional. It's allowed us to give kids things they need to fit in, to feel like they belong at Lamar, to give them the supports they don't have already, whether it's backpacks or uniforms or basic needs. Those things are filled through the kindness of Loving Lamar, through the donations that we receive. We've been able to provide one-on-one support through revision because of this Loving Lamar partnership. That means our 40 most at-risk students have someone with them on campus to be their advocate. These are kids that are involved in the juvenile justice system, are experiencing homelessness, or have parents who are incarcerated. And they have someone that goes with them to court, goes with them to meet their probation officer, checks in with them regularly to make sure they're making those decisions that keep them moving forward. I will tell you that when Larry reached out to me and said, we want to do this, we want to take what we have from the greater community and pour it in to the kids at Lamar, I could not have been more thrilled. And then you're going to hear a little bit about the partnership and the resources that Loving Lamar is bringing to our campus and our kids next year. So I'm not going to blow that big surprise, but I'll let Kate talk a little bit about that. Thank you.
Principal Graves, thank you. Again, humble servants. She won't tell you this, but she's been Principal of the Year 3-4 years in a row, and at HISD, and it is a recognition that is not only well deserved, but is a true servant heart. It is just an honor to serve with you and everyone over there. I would like to turn the mic over now, if I could, to Mr. Rivera. Again, dealing primarily with non-academic issues, certainly discipline issues. He has got a day that just makes our days look, whatever it might be, very calm. And he is a very calm person. But also was hoping you might be able to introduce Envy as well. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, good morning to all of you guys. I'm Raul Rivera. I started working at Lamar in 2016 as a history teacher, and then on 2022, Ms. Graves gave me the opportunity to manage what we had at our school called the Lamar Student Service Center. Basically, what we do is provide support to the students when it comes to behavior issues, emotional issues, economical issues, social issues. So any problem that you can imagine, right, our goal is to, of course, support our students to make them succeed. We have been lucky enough to have a lot of amazing people. We work with communities in school, wrap around, Loving Lamar with revision, now with managers. So it has been a blessing doing the job that we do at our school. Like I always said, the job that I do, you may have 364 bad days, but there's always that one day that makes it worth it. And that's what I love, what I do. Like I always said to when the people see the job that we're doing, a lot of people ask me, why are you doing this job? I always said because it's a blessing, and I love it because life sometimes, right, it's all about the struggle, but when you see that struggle gives you a lot of lessons to keep growing up and to keep helping others, that's what makes it worth it. Plus having meeting amazing people like Envy, who came to our school this year, and seeing her positive energy every time that I see her in the morning. I can be having the roughest day, but then she comes always to our office with that smile, and it's like that's all I need, and it keeps me pushing and helping people out. So Envy is a true example of what the Lamar Student Service Center is all about, what Lamar is all about. So I'm really proud of all her accomplishment and everything that she has done this school year. I wish her, of course, once she graduated, the best, and we're very, very proud of you, of everything that you have done. No, don't cry. But this is what we're here, and thank you, Larry, for inviting us in here. It's a blessing being here with all of you guys. So thank you so much for everything, and thank you. Yeah. And so, Envy, if would you like to a little bit?
Oh,
Sorry. No, you're good.
let's start to take
Take a minute.
Yeah.
I'll go. Okay. All right. So I'll tell you a little bit more about what the Meninger Clinic is doing, and we'll give Envy a few minutes, and we'll pass the mic back to you. So Larry introduced the Meninger Clinic to the Loving Lamar initiative in Lamar High School, and we're incredibly excited about a new initiative starting this academic school year. We're going to be screening every student at Lamar High School with 5 mental health screeners. We're starting with one classroom at a time, so it'll take about 4 years to get through the entire student body. These will assess depression, anxiety, strengths, not just these difficulties, but also strengths, social determinants of health. So it's a wide variety, only takes about 20 minutes. They do it in one classroom, so it's not disruptive to the student or the schools every day, their primary purpose for being there. It is a very confidential process. Here's the purpose. Research says with screeners, we can identify these challenges that students are having sooner and connect them to the resources that they need. Again, early identification is so key because the majority of mental health problems in our country are diagnosed between the ages of 10 and 24. So high school is the sweet spot. I think many of you probably have heard these statistics. They're pretty out there these days. 1 in 5 are impacted by mental health. The cost of, I'll actually backtrack. The second leading cause of death amongst adolescents is suicide. So if we can reach these students at a core time in their development, at the time when they're likely to be diagnosed, and screen early, then we can connect them to the resources that they need, from connection and belonging, which has been a theme through several Lighted Path initiatives, from connection and belonging all the way through therapy. Okay, so that's what we're going to do beginning in the fall of 2025. Now I'm going to pass the baton back to Raul to introduce Envy.
All right. Well, it is my honor, right, to introduce Envy to all of you guys. Envy?
Hello, everyone. I just want to show my gratitude thank God for having me here and to be able to up here to share my story. So I just don't want to leave any parts of my story out because I feel like it's a powerful story and it's got me to where I am now and with the support that I have around me, and I appreciate that a lot. So when I was 14 years old, I got pregnant and I had an abortion, which at that young age, I didn't understand what I was going through. It just was, it just like, it wasn't talked about, you know? It just was pushed away. So I carried that a lot throughout my years. Then my dad passed away when I was 15. And then since 2022 to 2025, me and my family was homeless for 4 years. We was in and out shelters, in and out hotels, rooms. Some days we worried where we was gonna sleep at. At first I was going to Yates High School. That school it was small, and everybody was just scrunched up all together with each other. They didn't really help me out a lot that Lamar has, and I'm very grateful that my mom had changed my school to Lamar, because Lamar had helped me a lot with clothes, shoes, socks, underwear, pads, toothbrush, toothpaste, and I'm very grateful for that. Throughout them years, it was hard, but I got through it. I'm actually grateful for all the lessons that I have gone through, because it grown me into this beautiful, independent woman, and I'm very grateful that these lessons has got me to the point where I am now, because I can help other people in this world. So what I plan on doing, because that I have experienced homelessness for 4 years, I plan on going to HCC to get into real estate, to become a real estate developer, to build my own community to help other homeless families who are dealing with homelessness. So that has inspired me to do that. But now also, I got through all of this not by myself and not the help of Lamar, but also my faith in God. So that brought me a long way, and I want to help other people in this world too. Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate you.
you know, as you all can see, we could have had one of these panels for the entire length of this, and so it really has been abbreviated. So thank you to all of our panelists, not just Lamar, but especially in what an incredible story, Envy. And I think, I hope one of the big takeaways is the impact that each of us sitting in this room can make on the lives of the people of our city. And whether you are working in a classroom, changing the story, as Julie said, with these early childhood kids, all the way up to our young adults who have experienced homelessness and foster care, to really be a support system, there are so many ways for you to volunteer. And so there are some cards. We have our impact reports scattered around where you can hear. There are these little cards at the back where you can sign up for our newsletter or send us an email if you'd like to get involved. We would love to get you on our mailing list. Follow us on Instagram. Think about how you can get involved. And there are so many ways to mentor, to volunteer, to donate. And so I just want to thank all of our panelists, all of our volunteers. I wish we had time for questions, but I know people have to go on to the next service. So thank you all so much. And I'd like